Hello, Mount Rudmore here, and I'm back to talk some more Big Brother in a slightly different location this time. At my I'm just at a relative's house for the time being. Sorry, just realized I forgot to plug the laptop in. But yes, I'm back to talk some more Big Brother, and there is a lot that I want to talk about, and I'm gonna try my best to not get too heated, but I'm probably gonna fail because a lot of this today has really made me very upset. Uh, let's just get right down to business. Jared won HOH. And when I heard that, I shriveled up a little inside. Apparently, it was the knockout HOH. And he won over Izzy. But apparently, it wasn't a matter of Jared beating Izzy. It was a matter of it coming down to the two of them, and Izzy got the last question wrong. So, yeah. It's sort of like the Davon Christmas situation. Christmas only won HOH because Davon got it wrong. And, you know, another thing I thought pretty quickly was him and Blue are going to just defile that bed. Like, they may as well just burn it and get a new mattress. I feel bad for the next HOH. Well, I'll probably feel bad for the next HOH. Depends on who it is. Yeah, you like this tiny little glass I'm drinking tonight? This small glass represents the small shred of sanity I have left. Now, I did suspect in my last stream that if Jared were to win, he would probably still put up Cameron and Red. But I have noticed that he's been slowly getting tired of Corey, and just the fact that Corey is very clearly a better man than him. Um, so yeah, that was my initial concern that it could be Corey going up. Jag asks Suri, why was I unanimously voted out? And she's like, we were going to save you, but America and Corey backed out at the last second. Uh huh. Jag talks to Izzy about just how he's feeling right now, how he feels like he has a guardian angel for being saved like this, and for Cameron, Bowie, and Red apparently being the first three knocked out in this competition. I mean, how were they the first three knocked out? Like, did they actually put each other up? I mean, like, it would have had to have been Red and Cameron first, then Red wins, and then Red puts Bowie in, and then Bowie loses, and then whoever beats Bowie puts in Red and someone else. But why would Red do that? But then again, he is dumb enough to do that, so maybe he did. Now, with Jag being saved, I had a moment of like, okay, Jag, this needs to be your wake up call about where you stand in the house. Think about who just lied to you and who just told you that you were not going to have the votes to stay. And he tells Matt that we need to talk, but he tells Matt to be careful about who he talks to. And everyone's like, oh, wait, is Jag getting his head in the game? And then Blue and Jag talk. Blue says that she trusts America more than she did at the beginning of the week, and they think America was going to be framed for the votes. Jag says certain people were chilling about the results of the HOH competition, and that indicates to him that they're comfortable with everyone. And Jag feels everyone lied to his face, and he doesn't know who to trust. And it's like, hey, is it happening? Is Jag finally getting his head in the game? I don't want to get ahead of myself. Matt, to my surprise, told Jag that he used the power to save Jag, and he also said this to Jared as well. And Jared tells Matt, "You're good for that." But I thought that the only way Matt would tell Jag. I mean, I didn't think he'd tell anyone other than Sari, but I definitely didn't think he'd tell Jag unless Jag actually won HOH, and Matt was like, "So I was the one that saved you, so could you please not put me up this week?" Like that was the only instance in which I saw Matt revealing that, but what do I know? Jag and Blue talk some more. They agree that Sari is running things. They've woken up. Will they stay awake? Jag says if she's next to anyone on the block, it doesn't matter who, she will stay. Jag thinks the only person that might take a shot at her would be America. And Blue is a little iffy about telling Jared certain things at this point, due to how close he is to the others, because apparently she does actually know, or at least highly suspect, that Suri is Jared's mother. And honestly, Blue, just go and look at their pictures on the memory wall, look at their faces, and you'll realize they look exactly the same. I was holding my pinky up. I didn't mean to. Drinking my milk all fancy. So Blue's iffy about Jared for that reason, and she's also a little iffy on Corey. But they both trust Matt, which I'm thinking could be a problem. But Blue says that for now they should just work on America. Keep Corey, Jared, and Matt close to them, but still at arm's length. And it's just like, oh my god, the first two people I picked in my draft are actually playing the game in a reasonably competent way right now. Can it continue? I mean, listen, I knew a lot of things had to go in a very specific order for things to keep working out for them to continue seeing things the right way. But my god, they still managed to see some things in a way that doesn't make sense to me or anyone. It's like, how did you arrive at this conclusion? Oops, I think I accidentally got ahead of myself again. Now, I thought that America would want Red out over Cameron initially, but Cameron has been saying a lot of really, really creepy stuff to her. Like saying that he can't control himself around her, and that she should wear more clothes if she's cold. It's weirding her out a lot. And there is a lot more to talk about on this issue. Believe me. I mean, can't control yourself around? That's a you problem, dude. You can't handle being around women? Why? God, Cameron's exactly the kind of guy who, like, if he were a cop and a woman came to him claiming to have been assaulted, he'd be like, "What were you wearing?" Seriously. Corey tells Jag to be careful around Matt and Jared, and that the others were never planning to keep him. And America agrees about this, and like Jag opens up to both of them, they open up with him, and they agree to keep this conversation to themselves. And if they do keep it to themselves, then they know they can trust each other. And then Jag tells Matt he can't trust Sari. And of course, if Matt tells her this, he's getting voted out again. And Jag points out they did to him what they did to Riley, giving her false hope. And also said that they tried to pin it on Corey in America. Now, you would think, with Matt's weird fixation on Riley still, you'd think this would have really stuck with Matt's. But unfortunately, it wasn't for very long. Now, by all accounts, it seems like Cameron and Red are going to be Jared's nominees, with Cameron being the target. They tell Suri that if Bowie were to win the veto and pull one of them down, then he'd put up America. But the implication I got from this is that otherwise Bowie would be the one to go up. Jared tells Jag who he's going for and says that America is a potential backup. And Jag, he starts defending America, saying that would really raise some eyebrows. It's like, okay, he's trying to protect her. Good, Jag. You finally realize America's on your side and you're going to continue to have her back, right? I mean, I'm trying to not jump ahead, but so much stupid stuff happened that I want to talk about. First of all, the first stupid thing, Jared is surprised that he didn't get a letter from his girlfriend at home. What is wrong with you, Jared? Do you honestly think she's gonna have no idea what's going on? She's not gonna see you and Blue making out and, you know, under the covers and then cleaning up after you've been under the covers, but in that spot? Like, how stupid do you think your girlfriend is? So it's just he I genuinely think Jared does not realize that she can see. And it's actually kind of surreal just how wrong he is about how this show works. So Cameron and Red do get nominated. Everyone wants Cameron out. Matt tells Blue that he wants Red to stick around because they're both loyal to Suri, and Red can take the shot at Izzy for them, which was an interesting development. You know, Matt may be loyal to a fault to Suri, but not not everyone in that core of Suri, Izzy, Felicia. He seems pretty tight with Felicia, but maybe he's trying to come for Izzy's spot as her favorite non-biological child. Suri tells Red that she doesn't want him to leave on Thursday because, as it turns out, Thursday is Red's birthday. 2 seasons in a row. We have got someone placing their entire reason as to why they shouldn't go home on it being their birthday. Jasmine, in particular, made it like her birthday month last year. And she even, it was after her birthday. It was like a day after her birthday or 2 days. And she said to Michael, well, I would like to not be nominated on my birthday week. And Michael's like, this is your third birthday week. So, I mean, sorry, I heard someone coming up the stairs. I got sidetracked. But, Jasmine, that was when the house split. Michael gave you a birthday present of letting you stay inside. And considering how miserable Direfest was for everybody, including and especially Joseph, I think you got off pretty lightly. And I'm just thinking, I really hope Cameron does not win the veto, because if America does end up sitting next to Red on the block on Red's birthday, then I'd be a little more worried about our chances. It's like, come on, why? Why do we care? I'm sorry, but if you try to play the birthday card in the Big Brother house, that should make you more of a target. Luckily, that would never be a problem for me. My birthday's in May. So that's a card I could never play, but I'm not interested in playing that card anyway. Red and Jag spend a long time talking in the kitchen, and it's a very weird and dumb conversation. And just the fact that they talk to each other for so long, like everyone walking by, because it's the kitchen, it's basically the middle of the house, everybody's walking by all the time. Seeing them talk to each other for so long, it raises some eyebrows among everybody else. Like, why are those two spending so much time together? But Red Red has a lot of really complicated reasons that he explains in a very complicated way. But one of the things he says to Jag is, if I win the veto, I'm not able to take myself off. He is saying this to Jag, someone who was nominated, won the veto, and took himself off. Because that's how the veto works. And Jag is speechless when he hears that. But here's the thing. I think what Red meant was that he he feels he kind of owes it to Cameron for whatever reason to keep him around. And he's also starting to feel a little homesick. You know, he's got his he's got his wife and daughter back home. I mean, like, it's his wife and she's young enough to be his daughter. Um, but yeah, it's like he meant it in a I don't want to pull myself off way, but still, it just made no sense. And he would later say, or maybe he said it before, I don't remember, but at one point he also says if he wins the veto, he's using it on Cameron, going to completely Marcellus himself, just not use the veto on himself. Oh boy. And it's at this point where I'm thinking, please, just just let neither of them win, please. Jag talks to Matt about Izzy being weird about what happened with the vote because he kind of, I mean, he went up to her and confronted her, and she gave a lot of conflicting answers about it that didn't really add up. And seems like maybe Jag's about to try and make some kind of progress. But then Cerise shows up and remists him. So, like, she comes in, the three of them start talking. Jag is firmly back in her orbit now. He trusts her again. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm jealous of Cerie's ability to have people flocking to her. So they talk about it and they decide to make an alliance. They don't really land on a name, mostly because Matt's suggestion of a name was so ridiculous. Riley's Promise. Let her go, dude. Just let her go, okay? If she really likes you, then she'll be waiting for you when you get out. And if she's not, then try to win as much as you can. Like try to win the game. Go as hard as you can, and make her jealous. Make her regret rejecting you. They continue workshopping the name because Jag and Cerie do not like it. And obviously, this alliance is not even remotely real. Because after this, Izzy tells Cerie that Jag was interrogating her about the vote, and Cerie's just like, yeah, he's got to go soon. And she later asks Jag why he's interrogating people about it. And it's almost like she's holding the fact that she was partially responsible for saving him. Like it was her idea to save him, clearly, because Matt deferred to her. But I mean, she had a hand in saving him, so it's almost like she's kind of holding it over his head without saying that. And this just brings him further into her orbit. Matt tells Red he wants to work with him because he's playing an honest man's game. You know, I know Matt had been saying some weird stuff, but with him saving Jag, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let it go, but you better stop saying weird stuff. This was more weird stuff. An honest man's game. Matt wishes he was playing Red's game. Why, Matt? You are in a pretty decent position in this house right now. Red is not. And from here, it just gets worse. Because this spirals into Matt convincing Jared that America should leave over Red. And then he tells Jag that America can't be trusted. And Jag now decides he does not believe America anymore, even though she's been the most honest with him. Like, Jag, who was the one who told you that the vote was going to flip? Or wasn't going to flip, that you were going to go? And Jag thought it was a flip, but no. America's the one who told you it was never real. And now, for some reason, you've decided again that she's lying to you. And it's like, it's one thing for me to feel hopeless about Jag, because I've been feeling a little hopeless about him for a while. But now he's making me feel hopeless about America, which is irritating. So, we get the veto picks. It's America, Matt, and Felicia. In addition to Jared, Red, and Cameron, of course. Now, what I was gathering at first is that Jared got house guest choice and picked America because he wanted to see her actually try to win something. But no, it seems like she was just picked at random. And Jared tells Corey she better not throw it again. And Corey is not happy at the implication that she's been throwing everything because she really hasn't, like, other than pressure cooker. But even then, she made a deal, which, a lot of long competitions, when it comes down to two people, they make deals with each other. Usually they're on it. The first pressure cooker was an exception to this, but think back to the Wall, BB25. Came down to Derek X and Xavier. Derek X promised Xavier safety, and actually, I think it was Derek X, Xavier, and Alyssa that were the last three hanging on the wall. I believe Derek X promised them both safety. So, yeah, this is not a new thing, Jared, but, if you knew anything about this show, maybe you'd know that. And he really has some nerve considering he won HOH by accident. He is only HOH by mistake. He is the Gerald Ford of HOHs. The accidental president, Jared's the accidental HOH. And, just the way he's saying this, well, she better not throw it. But the tone that I was getting is that if she doesn't win, she's going up. And, not even just in the event that Cameron or Red wins. He's just gonna push for her to go up. He's gonna, if it's not Cameron or Red, he's just gonna convince the veto winner, if it's not himself, to use it. And in all of this, he called her the R word, an ableist slur. Because there seems to be some kind of confusion online about what is and isn't a slur. And I can tell you for a fact that that word is a slur. I can tell you as someone with Asperger's syndrome. Now listen, personally, I'm numb to the word. You can say that word to me all you want. I don't care. I live on the South Shore of Massachusetts. I grew up on the South Shore of Massachusetts. Everybody said it. I'm immune at this point, but that's not the case for everybody. There are people out there who have a real problem with the word. And I'll admit, when I was a kid, when I was stupid, yeah, I said the word. But I was wrong. I was wrong to say it, and I don't anymore. You heard me. I didn't even say the word itself. I said the R word. And it's so pathetic to me seeing in 2023 people still arguing about what is and isn't a slur. And it's like, we've been having these conversations for a long time. It's not the fault of the people who are offended by these words that you haven't been listening for 15 years now, because the last 15 years is when we've really started to actually make some progress on this, when people with bigger platforms are able to actually speak out against this kind of thing. So if you haven't noticed or haven't cared, that's on you. You're the problem. So yeah, then there's debate going on about if Jared should be expelled for saying that word in the same way that the other guy was expelled for saying the N-word. And personally, yes, I think he should. They're both slurs. The show has a policy against hate speech. And despite what one idiot I saw on Twitter says, ableism is part of hate speech. I just saw one guy, he shared a definition. It's like, oh, look at this definition. Racism, sexism, or just discrimination against race, sex, orientation, that kind of thing. But as if to say, oh, look, ableism isn't here. Guess it's not a big deal by this one definition. That guy immediately caught a block from me. Have you noticed yet that I've been in a mood today? Jared tells Izzy that if Cameron wins the veto and America looks like she threw it, then she's going to become his target. But Jared is the kind of guy who can never be wrong. And everything he says just has to come true. So I'm just like, if, I'm thinking to myself, if America doesn't win, he's going to be convinced that she threw it because he just has to keep reinforcing himself in everything he says. And now I want to go back to Cameron harassing America because that's what it's been. It has been sexual harassment. So, yeah, production is not protecting America from a guy who is doing some really weird things and saying some really creepy things around her. And it's not okay. But Corey is trying to do damage control for America. He asks Izzy what she thinks about Cameron basically harassing her in the way he has been. Izzy says, "Well, yeah, she just likes to gossip." Excuse me, Izzy. First of all, do I need to go back to Felicia's HOH when you, her, and Sari were in the HOH room for God knows how long, watching that TV, gossiping about everybody who walked by and crapping on everybody? Are you actually suddenly saying you have a problem with gossip, Izzy? You know what? Maybe Izzy and Jared, actually are related. But listen, as bad as it has been, the weird comments that Cameron has made, that Red has made, that Matt has made, and that Jared in particular has made. Like Jared to me has been the worst offender of this, even more than Cameron for me. I'm like Jared is bringing all kinds of prejudices in his hatred of America. But as bad as all of those things are, the sad truth is Corey does have a hand in it because he spent all of Friday like talking trash about America. And they agreed to do this because they wanted to try and make it seem like they weren't so attached at the hip. But now it's starting to look like it worked a little too well on Corey's end because now America is public enemy number one in the house. Then Jared starts implying that the diary room was pushing him towards America. And I'm sorry to say that this, for me, was the moment where I started thinking, I think I need to quit this show. And I don't just mean this season, this show. Because it seems like they're trying to rig this for Suri and Jarrett. And, like, production is actually trying to orchestrate a steamroll. And with how blind everyone has been in their worship of Suri, it's starting to all kind of check out. Like, how are they believing Suri this much? It's because they're being told so many things about other house guests that they probably shouldn't know. And they're not being told anything about what Suri's up to, or Jared, so they're just protecting the two of them. So yeah, now, for the first time, I'm starting to actually believe that they're actually trying to rig this. And then, just to make matters worse, Cameron does win the veto. And Suri immediately gets to work, trying to think of how to get him to use it on Red. I mean, Cameron doesn't agree to this. And listen, Red might have Marcellus himself, but Cameron is not going to do that, I don't think. Cameron says he's not going to use it on Red, but he's willing to vote America out if that's where they're going. And I'm just like, Cameron, are you not for a second asking why Suri was so comfortable and confident asking you that question to not save yourself with the veto? I mean, it's like they have zero doubt about Suri. And yeah, like I said, at first I thought it was Suri and just her social skills, but now I can't help but wonder if everybody's just getting paid a little more money to not talk about going after Suri. And Suri goes to Jared and says, "Nah, you should nominate Jag instead." So why'd you save him? The whole thing America was talking about last week is that she felt it was kind of cruel that the day before the eviction, well, the eviction episode, that Suri was giving Jag false hope. Now this is like giving him a whole week of false hope. This is the epitome of false hope. You saved him from walking out the door, and now you're talking about sending him right back out? It's like, this is just mean. So, now I want to talk about, like, I want to go really in depth here. I think Big Brother did the right thing with the Luke situation. Oops, I said his name. But it's looking like Jared is going to come out of this with nothing more than Corey chastising him for saying that word. And also, what is it about Corey that makes people feel so comfortable saying slurs around them? Okay? Corey was in the room when Luke said the word, and now Jared is saying this word to him. And and yeah, Jared is just not going to be punished in any way, it seems. And I mean, it's giving Jackson Mickey. That's what it feels like. That guy was clearly breaking the rules. He was doing everything wrong, and no one liked him, and yet production kept protecting him. And then hearing him talk about how the diary room is influencing his decision to go for America, it's like, why am I here? Why am I watching? I want them to play the game, not the people I can't see. Why would I want to watch people play a game that other people are forcing them to play when I can't hear those other people and try and get into their minds? Like, I should be analyzing them, but I can't access them. It's like, just let the game play out. And another thing production has been definitely getting wrong is cutting away every time someone tries to talk about Cameron and how creepy he is. Literally, anytime he comes up, when they start to address some of the weird things he does, particularly from America, they cut the feeds or they cut to someone else. Why are they protecting him? I have not seen a single Cameron fan at all since the show started. Not one. Who is this guy for? It's not the audience. He's not that interesting. He's very, very problematic with his behavior around women. He just says a lot of generally creepy things. He looks like Charles Manson when he straightens his hair. Like, why? Why is he here? And why are we protecting him? What dirt does he have on production? He's like, you better put me in the Big Brother house or I'm going to upload this video of you doing something gross at spring break. And then, like, with America always being the one trying to talk about how uncomfortable Cameron makes her, and now the diary room is pushing Jared into targeting America, it seems like they want to get America out so that no one will talk about it anymore. Like, that is disgusting. Yeah, I just turned into Rockstar there. Disgusting! But it is. No. Stop protecting this guy that no one likes. People like America. She's one of the most popular house guests. At least I'm on the casual. I mean, I'm on the feedsters. The casuals haven't really gone to see her too much. But just stop protecting Cameron and his creepy, harassing behavior. Stop protecting Jared and his use of slurs, all because his mother is famous and we have to rig the game for them. Just stop doing all of this. It's ruining the show. And it's honestly, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not enjoying this show anymore. Like, this season has been very chaotic, and it's like, I know I should be enjoying it, because yes, it's very chaotic, it's all over the place. But the whole time, I've just felt like there's something wrong. Like, there's just been something gnawing at me that just wasn't feeling right, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And here it is. As far as I'm concerned, it's all out in the open now. They're protecting their favorites, and their favorites, except for Suri, are people that no one likes. They're protecting Cameron, they're protecting Jared, and they're just saying, oh well, to America. And I don't know how many more of these streams there's going to be. I really don't. Because I'm starting to reach a breaking point. Like, this, it's all going too far for me. Like, a lot of this behavior is just, it's not sitting well with me. And I know how this feels like coming from me. Like, I'm a straight white guy. Why does it seem like I'm so offended by all this? First of all, I'm a straight white guy with Asperger's syndrome. So, yeah, the ableism does bother me directly. But, no, it doesn't even bother me. Like I said, I've basically become numb to the word at this point, but I know how much it bothers other people who are special needs or neurodivergent. And I don't know, I guess I'm just an empath in that way because I know that ableism is wrong. I know that racism is wrong. And I know that sexual harassment is wrong. So they may have made one step forward with Luke, but Jared and Cameron are two steps backwards. Like, just look, I get expelling two guys, two contestants from the show, one of whom is the HOH, is going to really mess up their schedule for the season. But I'm sorry. You got to protect these house guests. Like, forget the 100 days. Cut it down a week. Make it a 93-day season. It's like, I'm worried about America's safety, and I'm worried that if she does leave this week, she's going to get out, see all the horrible things that were said about her behind her back. And I mean, she's already got plenty of horrible things that happened directly to her. And then she's going to see that so much of it was buried. And I just feel bad for her. I If she does leave, I will 100% support America in all of this. Like, if she speaks out against this, I'm gonna 100% be on her side. Now, I will say, uh, my last bit of notes I took before I went live, it did kind of seem like maybe, possibly, things were turning around a little for America because she was talking to Suri, and then she was talking to Felicia and Mimi, and it seemed like she was making making some progress. You know, she was doing her work, getting people on her side. Suri says that she wants to keep her around even if she gets nominated. Like Suri does seem to want Red out again. She seems to be over the whole birthday thing. And when she's talking to Felicia and Mimi, they think that Bowie going up makes more sense because they think she's closer to Red and Cameron. But I think it's just more a case of Bowie isn't close to anybody. But yeah, they think that Bowie going up makes more sense, and I do too. And honestly, if Bowie left over Red, I wouldn't care that much. I take that back. I would. Red is also very problematic with some of the things he says. So yeah, maybe he should go home to his wife that he met like right after she graduated high school. All right, now it's time to check, see what's happened since I've been live. Okay, first update I saw. It sounds like Cam and Red breaking up right now. Rest in peace, Chillbillies. You won't be missed. Hey, if Cameron votes out Red, I am not gonna have too much of a problem with that. I'll have plenty of other reasons to hate Cameron. All right, now checking BB updates. By the way, I saw BB updates snap at somebody earlier, and that's been happening a lot. And usually, I think it's pretty funny. I didn't think it was funny today because it seems like BB updates is also as done with all of this as I am. And they said they may not even be here next season. And I, for one, can't even imagine a world without BB updates. Like, they are so important. It's like BB updates is just the messenger, but by all accounts, it seems to just be one person who's doing the best they can. So yeah, they may not get everything. But listen, don't shoot the messenger, especially the best messenger. Sorry, just saw Corey and Jared talking about Survivor Big Brother connections and talking about how Russell's brother Willie was on BB14. Russell from Survivor. His brother Willie was on BB14 and he got expelled for headbutting somebody. Wait, Willie was his cousin? I thought they were brothers. Anyway, uh, Jared's like, oh, that must be the season I watched. And Corey was like, was Suri on it? And now I can't help but wonder, does Corey know? Probably not. Probably just he recognizes Suri. Wouldn't that be something if Corey does know? That could really shake things up. He's one of the few people. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought mid-sentence. Right, he's one of the few people that can actually take that information and run with it. Corey's trying to convince him that Bowie Jane. Well, Corey says, "You got to convince me why Bowie doesn't make perfect sense." And Corey calls her effing Bowie Jane again. And now is he saying he is thinking Matt should go up as a pawn if we are deciding that Red should go home? Who's he? Like Jared? Jared is thinking Matt should go up as a pawn? That's where he's like, if Matt volunteers, that's the path of least resistance, which it is. Suri thinks that it's been Red, Cameron, and Bowie together the whole time, and the path of least resistance is Bowie. And Alicia, Jag, Izzy, Blue all say that they agree. Blue says that putting America up is more blood on your hands. Yes, it is. Okay, all you people need to talk to Jared about this. Like, these are all people that I think could get through. Well, maybe not Jag, but Blue and Suri certainly could get through to him. Izzy, I think, probably could. Felicia probably could. Jared is so worried that Bowie's going to win something to put him up. Like, dude, America is far more likely to win something to put you up. And for that matter, if you get America out, Red is more likely to win something than Bowie to put you up. He's just, this is his excuse, and it doesn't make sense. Jared's asking if there were any volunteers. Felicia's pushing for Bowie. Matt says if Bowie were to win next week, he could convince her to make sure it's not two people from like their group, I guess. Oh, I guess Cameron picked Matt for the veto through house guest choice. Okay, here's Izzy making a good point. About time after her terrible thing from earlier, thinking that America basically deserves to be harassed. But she's saying that if you put Red next to America, he'll think he's safe. If you put Red next to Bowie, he will know. Oh, wait, I read that wrong. No, okay, she's not making sense here. I thought if you put Red next to America, he will know he's going home. I thought that's what I read, but no, I got the names mixed up. Oh, but him knowing he's going home is good for him, and that'll make it easier. So I don't know what Izzy's advocating here. It does seem like Jared is relenting, and he's talking about putting up Bowie. And they're already saying they're not going to blindside him. Yay! I think we have another unanimous vote on our hands. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't care that much about Red getting a unanimous vote, but still. Cameron thinks that Red might tell people to vote him out, which at this point might be the case. They think he's having some kind of mental health problem. I mean, I think it might be just being homesick. But, I mean, I don't know. You signed up for this. You know, willing to be away from your family for 100 days to possibly bring home $750,000. Okay, here's Cameron being weird again. Saying that Jared's cooking something up to Matt. Cameron says he's trying to help him. When I say I'm trying to help him, I'm the one trying to make it happen. He is not telling you that, because we don't want to tell you yet. When it happens, you'll know what to do. How is it that Cameron thinks he's running the show, and yet his HOH was about as passive as possible? And he put up 2 house targets. He didn't make waves, and yet here he is now, and he thinks he's running things. It's like, what is this guy's deal? He doesn't make sense. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. All I know is I feel like America has a slightly better chance of not being nominated than I thought she did at the beginning of this stream. But I'm not I'm not holding out anything. Jared, honestly, he is clearly incredibly sexist. He's incredibly threatened by strong women, and America is clearly that. She's very strong-willed. She's not afraid to speak her mind, and there is nothing that all these so-called macho, masculine alpha bros hate more than a confident woman. So, yeah, I I hope Cameron's next. Like I hate him so much that I genuinely did not care if he had his HOH completely ruined and then he goes out the next week. Like I did not care if that happened. But it's not going to happen now because he's won the veto. I mean, unless he doesn't use it on himself, which I don't think would happen. But he's stupid enough, he might do it. I mean, if you're stupid enough to sexually harass women on camera, then you might just be stupid enough to Marcellus yourself in Big Brother. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm really disappointed by some, repulsed by others, and honestly, I'm kind of at the point where it's like, if Red doesn't leave on Thursday, there's a very good chance that I'm I'm not gonna stick around. And if America goes, then I'm almost certainly not gonna stick around. One more quick check. No, I think that'll do it for me. Thank you to my one viewer for watching. I appreciate it. And thank you if you're watching this on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at NickGrimesYT. I have links to my YouTube and my Twitch channel there. And you can get my real-time thoughts on Big Brother stuff as it happens. And I will see you next time. Peace out. Oh, and also, screw Jared. Expel Jared.